Okay, my name's Dean and I'm one of the art interpreters here at Wolverhampton Art Gallery, and I'm going to show you around Bostin 60s, which is our new show. It's been curated by Satnam Sanghera, who wrote Boy with a Top Knot and now writes for the Times, and he grew up in Wolverhampton and his parents moved here in the 1960s, and his experiences in the 1960s in Wolverhampton have influenced the choices of objects for this exhibition. What's interesting about the objects that Satnam selected are they range from museum objects, things that really sum up 1960s pop design culture, and more personal objects from family and friends and other British Asians that grew up in the 1960s in Wolverhampton. And here we can see a typical 1960s kind of pop-coloured dress and an on-loan sari. We've got a couple of saris in the collection that have been loaned to us as well by a friend of Satnam's, and they were her mother's. So very personal objects alongside kind of design classics as well. A lovely object as well is as well as this fantastic kitchen unit that we've restored here at the gallery. We've combined that with another personal object, which are some cooking implements that were brought over in the 1960s. We've got this fantastic pestle and mortar that just shows so much use. And in the text, Satnam talks about the amount of kind of love and kind of the heart of the family being in the kitchen and kind of learning and loving so much in those environments, next to the kind of less personal 1960s design, really. Obviously, the most exciting part of the 60s really was the development of popular culture and the availability and affordability of televisions, which by our standards were still very expensive, but people took advantage of lease hire to get this technology into their homes. And I think by the end of the 1960s, virtually 100% of families had TV in their homes. This dance set's a lovely object, and originally would have cost the equivalent in today's money of £800, so it was a really, really expensive item. But I guess music in the 1960s, apart from fashion, the prime thing that we think of. And in the exhibition we've got reference obviously to the Beatles, who were active and touring in towns like Wolverhampton during the 1960s. Also reference to the Hells Angels, so things that we think of as being quite new and modern. I think this exhibition really shows the birth of popular culture as we know it. So if you've got any interest in music or pop culture at all, it's really great to come and see it. We're trying to set the excitement of popular culture and the music scene alongside the more difficult issue of racial tension in the 1960s. Wolverhampton was one of the first towns to feel the same tension that had kind of swept across America with the race riots. And in Wolverhampton, it was bubbling up under the surface. And these newspaper articles and the documentary that we're showing as well goes to show just how tense things were. And the use of language is really difficult for us now, but I think perhaps shows how far we've come in terms of being a multicultural society and living alongside one another. Things were not great in the 1960s, and for me, having been a little bit younger, too young to remember it, it's a real surprise to see just how difficult things were. So come and see the pop objects, come and see the exciting stuff, and maybe think about how things have changed in the region as well.